Last night, as a Telford Tigers fan, I went to my first away game, which was hosted at MK Lightning, and let's talk about it. I'm going to tell you my experience of my first away game, and obviously this is probably quite specific to MK Lightning because it's the only one I've got to compare it to. I did make some notes of things I really liked and things that I thought could have improved a bit, so I'm just going to kind of go through them and let you know my thoughts and feelings on the night. So when we first got there, I will just say the parking was easy to find and it was fair priced, which is obviously good if you're going somewhere you don't know. We didn't find any struggle with that. Getting a car parking space and paying for it was all fine. As you go in, obviously they do a security check your bags, scan your ticket in, and they give you a stamp. All of the stewards and the security there were really friendly, happy to help, chatty, made that a very smooth process. Went in, and then that was our first look at the rink as we were finding our seats. The rink is very big compared to at Telford. At Telford, we basically have one length and one end for standing, and one length of balconies, that's for seating, and that's it. Whereas here, all four sides of the rink is balcony seats, and the standing goes the whole way around as well. So straight away, you've got a lot more space and opportunity to sit to see where you'd want to. So that was really good. It was really nice to see a different rink, especially a bigger rink. Looked after, it was nice. They obviously had their logo in the rink. Block 8 is the away block, easy to find, navigate, all of that was good. Got there, and we were sat on row A. Someone did pre-warn me that row A doesn't have much foot room and it's a small seating. And when we got there, it is small seating. I'm 4'11", and I sat down and I was okay sat, but I even struggled to get my bag down by me. Like, it's very tight. And I think if you're a full-grown bloke or whatever, you're going to struggle to sit in that seat and have any room. The view itself was absolutely fine in front of you as it's a balcony. And then the rink's obviously in front of you. There's the netting on the corner, but you can still easily see everything. As you look to the other end of the goal, the steps have like a glass protector around them. That's kind of in the way a little bit, but because it's glass, you can obviously see through it. So all in all, the seats we had, we were happy with. We would choose to sit back a row if we went again, just to have that extra leg room or whatever, but it wasn't a massive issue if you're a short, small person, basically. We were waiting for the game to start and they'd done warm-ups. The mascot was walking around, Pucky, giving waves, interacting with the fans. That was really nice to see. And then as we were waiting for them to come on ice, Pucky, the mascot, and I'm not sure who the man is. I'm guessing he is there every week as well, but I'm not sure who he is, sorry. He had like a flashing cowboy hat on, and then they had like interactive songs on, like 6 or 7 in a row, and they were dancing, getting the crowd hyped. The lights were flashing. That was really fun because that got everyone really excited and it's engaging the audience, and then obviously you're hyped and ready for the teams to come out. Something else just to note about the rink itself, it has a Papa John's in there. It had vending machines for pop and water, and it had a like hatch in the wall bar and drink stand. So there was lots of different places you could get food and drink from. It wasn't just one option. I really liked that. And there's also a Morrison's right outside of it. So obviously if you just wanted to grab like a meal deal or something before you went in, you could do that. So food and drink options were really good. I was supposed to be getting ready while I did this and I've been getting distracted just chatting, so sorry. But yeah, as the game actually started, that was exciting. The crowd was good. They had the drummer people in their crowd as well. They had really loud drums, to be fair. Like, that was really good how loud they managed to get that heard across the rink. So again, the atmosphere was really good as it started. I think I would say about that at MK, the announcements and like the commentator was really hard to hear. Like, the drums and people shouting you can hear, and the guy in the cowboy hat had a mic at the beginning talking and stuff as well. You could hear him. But when the actual goals were being scored and then she couldn't hear who she was saying, what, or like if something was disallowed, like she was mentioning it, but you couldn't hear anything. And I don't know whether that was maybe just us where we were sat. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the best hearing at the best times either. But to me, I don't struggle at Telford to hear. And I really struggled there to hear what she was saying. But again, luckily they have the big Jumbotron. Stuff came up on there, like with the goals and things. But yeah, I don't know whether it's a speaker issue or what, but it was quite hard to hear any announcements that were made. Again, with that, obviously they play music throughout the match, like breaks in play and when people score or whatever. I do feel like the DJ was quite weak. I'm sorry, that might have just been last night, I don't know, but the pre-game DJ and pre-game songs were great. They had some really catchy ones getting us all in the mood, but I felt like once the game actually started, the music was awful and it was just like dead. I didn't like it as much as I usually do. Again, that might have just been last night, that might just be me, that could obviously be preference, so take that with a pinch of salt. Something I did really like, I thought was a very unique selling point, and I loved, when MK Lightning scored, the lights on the roof like flickered like to look like lightning, and I thought that was a really, really cool touch. Like, I really liked that. That's obviously very unique to them, and if I was a fan of theirs, I would love that. I think that was a really, really cool little touch. The fans were really cool, to be fair, in general. No like rude or crass chirping or anything. Obviously there was the boos and the ways, like if anyone slipped over, or obviously on the other team, and there was a lot of fighting involved on the ice, and there wasn't any like nasty chants. Obviously they had the old silly cheer for their team and stuff, but they weren't like disrespectful or rude to the away fans. I felt quite safe there and happy to like cheer when Telford did. I wasn't like, oh god, they're gonna look at me or be like, attack me. It was a very like safe atmosphere. Then at the end of the game, people did start leaving very soon, like the last 2 minutes before the game either. Again, whether it gets super busy leaving there, if you wait till the very end, I'm not sure. We left, obviously, as Telford did their lap and then left. We left then. So we stayed till the end, but not obviously the very end when Milton Keynes left the ice. Again, I don't know whether this is because of traffic or whether they're being a bit sore losers. I'm not really sure, but like I said, a lot of people left towards the end of the game and before they did their victory lap, before they did man of the match, anything like that, they were up and going. So again, whether they were slightly sore, I'm not sure. It might have been a traffic thing. The best part of the night was, of course, that Tigers won 6-3. It was a really, really good game. There was a lot of scrapping, a lot of fighting, a lot of disallowed like goals, a lot of penalty moves. There was a lot going on last night, but I'm so glad I got to see that game in person. And for our first ever away match, it was a super good experience. We definitely want to go again. Probably looking at Bristol for one next. It's a similar distance and I've done that drive quite a few times, so I'm happy to do it. But yeah, that was my experience. It was a really positive, good experience. Like I said, the fans were all good sports. It was a laugh. There was no like disrespect, or I didn't feel unsafe or anything being away. It was a really nice rink to see compared to ours, which is quite a small, underdeveloped one, to be honest. So it was really nice to see that. And the atmosphere was great because the vibe of the game was just feral. With all that said, Telford is still home. The rink is intimate. It's what we're used to. We absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to get back to the jungle.